Welcome back to the 5th episode of Love Adapted. This week we're going to be diving into one of Netflix's most captivating love stories. It's a love triangle that has fans dreaming, debating, and falling hard for both brothers. But the real question is, which version captures the heart of the story best? The book or the series? Happy almost Halloween, everybody! I hope you guys are excited for today's episode because today we're going to be talking about My Life with the Walter Boys. It was written by Ali Novak back in 2010 when she was only 15 years old. And then 4 years later, after gaining immense popularity on Wattpad, it became a published book. And then 9 years after that, in 2023, it became a series on Netflix. And it starred Nikki Rodriguez as Jackie, Noah Lalonde as Cole, and Ashby Gentry as Alex. This series was so wildly popular that it immediately hit #1 on Netflix's global top 10. And it became so popular that 11 years after her first book, she made a sequel called My Return to the Walter Boys. And literally a couple months after that book released, there was already a season 2. And it was so popular, and I watched both seasons, and they were amazing. So, did the love translate from page to screen that well? Let's dive in and find out. Tragedy strikes 16-year-old Jackie Howard. She discovers that her family has lost their lives in a car accident. She is overall heartbroken, and the life that she had planned in Manhattan was completely lost, and now she has to pick up everything and live in rural Colorado. As she moves there, she's moving in with the Walter family, which is a family friend of her mom, and she has to navigate all the chaos of moving in with a family of 11 kids, most of them being boys. And as she is there, she meets Alex and Cole is this charming bad boy, and Alex is this intellectual, steady, and kind young teen. And she's navigating her relationships, and a lot of the roots of this story is belonging, first love, and grief. She's navigating the loss of her family while also developing these feelings for these boys that she's never felt before. And then she has to figure out where in the world she belongs now, because everyone else in high school is pretty much got their friends planned, their futures, somewhat of an idea, but she is now having to just plan everything from scratch, and that could be really scary. And so we get to navigate a lot of her inner thoughts and what she's thinking, and follow her on this path as she is navigating what her next steps are in life, the grief, and her love for both Alex and Cole, and the complicated feelings that come for both. With any Netflix adaptation, they take the outline of the story and they expand it. They give us new characters, new storylines, new events, places, and we get more in-depth about the characters and their background and who they are, and we really get expanded storylines that we wouldn't get in the book. Jackie moves to rural Colorado, but we see it through glossier and drama-filled lens. Jackie's still grieving, but the tone shifts from quiet introspection to a high school spectacle. The Walter family is slightly smaller, and several storylines are reworked. New school characters are introduced, the truth or dare kiss turns into a chaotic disaster, the love triangle between Jackie, Alex, and Cole takes center stage. While the show captures the warmth and the humor of the Walter household, it trades some of the book's emotional subtlety for the fast-paced drama and cliffhangers. The big bonfire where old relationships and drama arise between Cole and Alex, and we discover that this situation of them having a crush on the same girl has happened before, where Alex is in love with a girl and then Cole steals her. But there's more to the story than is on the surface. The visuals and the performances really shine in this series, and I think people are going to get swept up in the small town country feel and the sibling chaos. Like, anyone knows being in a large family, it's never boring. There's always something happening, and Jackie really gets to see the extent of the teasing. She really bounces back, and she's so resilient in the series, and it's so fun to see her grow from being really apprehensive in the environment to joining in and becoming part of the family and giving advice and helping the family grow. And it's just so much fun to see. And I think that the show does really well at bringing these characters to life and showing these different family dynamics. So, with every story that is adapted into a series or a movie, there's going to be differences from the book. And one of the big differences that I noticed in the series is that in the book, there are 11 siblings, one of them being a girl. There are 2 sets of twins, but in the show, there's only 10. And that's so we can, like, kind of have, it's easier to visualize on screen 10 people rather than 11. They also remove one set of the twins, so Jordan is no longer a twin, which kind of like shifts the dynamic of the family a little bit. But with that, we do get a bigger focus on the ranch, and we get to see more of the issues, from the tree diseases to the financial issues and more adult drama, which I think really shifts it from just like a teen romance story to something that older audiences can relate to and would like to watch. There are several supporting characters and added community subplots that are added into the series that were not in the books, and I think this really expands the world from just the love triangle and the Walter family and the ranch. Like, we really get to see more moments of them in high school with their friends and their friends' relationships and what the community's going through. Like, as the ranch is trying to expand and become a tourist attraction, we see a lot of the community protest that and not want the small town to be corrupted by all these tourists coming in. So if you have not read the book or watched the series, then I recommend you stop watching this or skip over, because the ending has changed. In the book, there was a definitive ending where, because Alex overheard Jackie and Cole confessing their love for each other and wanting to be together, they ended up having a very civil conversation between Alex and Jackie as they were together in the book, saying like, hey, I think we're better off as friends. And then Cole and Jackie ended up having another conversation saying like, hey, we really want to be together. They confessed their love, and that when she comes back from New York over the summer, that they would be together. And then that was kind of the resolution and the final, that, hey, not right now, but in the future, Jackie and Cole would be endgame. Whereas in the series, it's a little more complicated, because Alex ends up admitting his love for Jackie, and she doesn't know what to say because deep down she doesn't feel the same way, because she has feelings for Cole, which is a little complicated. And so because of that, Cole ends up fixing her teapot and gifting it to her, and it was a gift from her family, and it was very special to her. And so he fixed that, and she saw that as a grand gesture and, demanded to know, like, what did this mean? And they shared this passionate kiss, like, right before the ending, and it was very tense, and Alex knew nothing about it. And I think this caused such a stir of feelings for her that she just upped it and left. So there was no real resolution when it came to the ending of the Netflix series, because she was just so thrown off by her feelings and not wanting to hurt Alex, but having a lot of love for Cole, that she just left and she didn't say anything. And that kind of left some sour feelings between the Walter brothers, which then leads us into our next season 2, where she ends up coming back after Catherine talks to her and is like, hey, we love you, we're your family, and we want you to come back. And so she does. And then it's just a complicated mess, because one brother was left with, you left me without saying anything, and the other one was like, you kissed me and you didn't say anything. But it's very complicated. But yeah, I think they did that just so that they could set up for season 2, so it makes sense. I think the novel succeeds the most when it focuses on the character-driven drama and the emotional intimacy. Jackie's internal monologue and her personal struggles and romantic tensions are engaging and clear, and the pacing can occasionally drag on with some of the plots, but the feels are underexplored. The book delivers enough heart and connection to keep readers invested, but overall, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, because I think it was an enjoyable read, but I want it to be more in depth about her feelings and what goes on in the community and where their standpoint is and how Alex and Cole are. I want to know about what's going beyond just this romance. I want them to be able to think about their futures and not just like, oh, like they hurt my feelings today and I'm mad at them. So I want more. I don't know how you guys are going to react when I say this, but I won't lie. When I first watched the Netflix series, I cringed a lot. The acting was really cheesy. The set felt really sitcom-y. I mean, there were some beautiful moments, like when we saw the Colorado, the moment between the trees. Like I mean, I thought that was beautiful. Like there's several beautiful moments like with them out in nature and stuff like that. However, the times that they were in the high school or like out in the community events, I just kind of felt like there was just so many moments where I just cringed, and like the fighting and the bickering and like sometimes the drama just felt suffocating that I couldn't really get a gravel on like, okay, I want to keep watching this because it's just like you're looking at them like, why would you do that? Like it's just so weird. But I really like how they explored the other romances and they explored the friends and the family, and we went way deeper into the ranch's issues and them trying to save it. I wish they would have gone more in depth about the grief of Jackie, because obviously losing your entire family in one day and having to move your entire life is a very big change, and I wish they would have gone more in depth about that. I think they did a really good job at, expanding the world. However, I'd like for them to dive in more into their feelings and their thoughts. But what I did like about this, which I think is really hard, is that they made both love interest in the love triangle, they made them both likable. Like I could see both sides for both Team Alex and Team Cole, because they're both great guys. Like yeah, they have their moments because they're young and they definitely need maybe growth and therapy, but at the end of the day, like they had their sweet moments with her. I kind of wish we had a little more Cole, because I felt like it wasn't until the last minute that I'm like, okay, yeah, I like Cole more, but like they didn't make him overly toxic, which I like. And Alex is overall a really sweet character. I think it's really obvious that he's not meant to be with Jackie, in my opinion. But I'm gonna give the show a 6 out of 10. I think it's really good at expanding the world. I just kind of also, I wish it was more just emotionally in depth, and that we dove more into Jackie's grief and the romance and their own development. We have reached the end of another chapter of Love Adapted. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, let me know in the comments below. Are you team book or team show? Both are amazing, so please let me know. But also subscribe to my channel so you can come to next week's episode, where we're going to be talking about love after loss and finding yourself again with the life list. You won't want to miss it. It's a beautiful story. But also, if you would like more book lover content, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Love Adapted. And finally, make sure to keep your hearts open and your bookmarks ready. Till next week. Bye bye.